Girl.
We'll begin standing. And separate your feet about hip width apart. Make sure your feet are parallel. The second toes point forward. And root down with the four corners of each foot. Press down and lift everything else up from there. Reach the crown of your head up towards the sky. Feel the length through your spine. Relax down through your shoulders. Feel your chest open and lift up through your heart center. Feel the breath in and out through the nose. Connect to the steady rhythm of the breathing. Bring your palms together, thumbs to your heart center. Root down with your feet. Reach your arms up overhead. Look up to your hands. Reach up to the sky. Exhale, hinge from your hips, forward fold. You can always bring your hands to your thighs as you come down. Step your right foot back for a lunge. Left knee over the left ankle. Square off your hips. Step your left foot back to plank. Lift up through your rib cage. Slowly come all the way down to your belly. Uncurl your toes. Peel your chest up for cobra. Bend your elbows. Shoulders down. Carefully push back to a downward facing dog. You can bend your knees as you lift your hips up high, creating an inverted V with the body. As you spread your fingers, press down between your index finger and thumb. Lower your knees down to a tabletop and step your right foot up between your hands. Lunge. Lift your back knee, gaze forward. Step your left foot up to the right. Forward fold. Palms together, thumbs to your heart, and round up. Inhale, reach your arms up, gaze up to your hands. Exhale, hinge from your hips, forward fold. Step your left foot back for a lunge, right knee over the right ankle, square off your hips. Step your right foot back to plank, engage your thighs and your glutes, shift your weight forward, come all the way down to your belly. Uncurl your toes, lift your chest, cobra. We're just warming up the body slowly. Exhale it back to downward facing dog, soften your knees. Let your head relax down. Draw the crown of your head down as you lift your hips, set your shoulders up towards your hips. Lower your knees down to a tabletop, step your left foot up, lunge, lift your back knee. Make sure your left knee is right over your left ankle. Gaze forward. Step your right foot up to the left to a forward fold. Palms together, thumbs to your heart, round up. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, hinge from your hips, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, flat back, walk back to plank pose. Shift your weight forward, come all the way down to your belly. Uncurl your toes, lift your chest up. You can bend your elbows, cobra. Exhale back, downward dog. Lift your hips up and relax your head down. Soften your knees. Lower your knees to a tabletop and step your right foot up for a modified lunge. Keep your back knee down. Lizard lunge. Walk your right foot to the right a few inches. Bring your right hand inside your right leg so both hands are on the ground, shoulder width apart. And relax your hips down. Press your right knee in towards your right shoulder. If you have a block, you have the option to have a block down under your forearms. You can bend your elbows and bring your forearms down to a block. And breathe into your hips. If you have two blocks, feel free to have two blocks down and have your forearms on top of those blocks if you need that extra support. So this is a restorative posture with your back knee down. Stretching the hip flexors, stretching the hamstrings and the quads. Go to your ujjayi breathing in and out through the nose with the back of the throat and hear the whispering sound of the breath. Your forearms are on the blocks. Take the blocks out. Bring your hands back onto the ground beside your right leg. Lift your right arm up. Bend back behind you. Point your right thumb up towards the sky and spread your fingers. Gaze towards your right hand. Sink into your hips. If you want more of a quad hip flexor stretch, bend your left leg and pull the outer edge of your left foot.
It's not happening. happening
Gaze
today?
past your right shoulder. If you want even a deeper stretch, bend your left arm and bring your forearm to the ground. You can flex your right foot here and go to the outer edge of your right foot to open your knee out to the side. Come back to the tabletop. We're going to go into the other side. Step your left foot forward. Lizard lunge. Both hands inside your left leg. Sink into your hips. You can press your left knee in towards your left shoulder. Hands about shoulder width apart. This helps improve circulation and your hip flexibility. If you use the blocks on the other side, you can use them here as well. It's fine too to keep your hands on the ground. And breathe. Connect to the breath. Let your breath guide you. Your forearms on the blocks. Take the blocks out to the side. Go back up on your hands and lift your left arm up and back. Point your left thumb up towards the sky. Gaze past your left shoulder. You can stay here or bend your right leg and hold the outer edge of your right foot. Feel your chest opening. There's a subtle back bend. You can keep your right hand on the ground, or if you want a deeper stretch, bring your right forearm down and flex your left foot going to the outer edge of the left foot to allow your left knee to fall open to the side. Open your chest up towards the sky. Bring your shoulders.
Kitty, no!
Lower your left hand down, come back to the tabletop. You come down to a seat. Are you ready?
Oh, Kitty.
Fire lock.
Kitty fucking knocked everything down. Hold, please.
Parallel.
It's all facing this direction, but I had it up here on a tray. She decided to jump on the fucking tray. I thought my phone was gonna break. Oi! Bad girl. Bad girl, bad girl. Alright. Little fucker. Stay away from my stuff. Alright, let's try and finish this, asshole. Stay with my stuff. Yeah. About to go double pigeon. Hold on, I gotta go back just a second.
To the top line of the mat. Right ankle on top of the left knee. And fire log.
Okay.
Lower your left hand down. Come back to a tabletop. You come down to a seat. Getting ready for double pigeon. Fire log. Bend your left leg so your left shin is parallel to the top line of the mat. Right ankle on top of the left knee. If your hips are tight, you can always go back onto your elbows and your forearms to give your hips a little more space. Another modification, especially if you have any injuries in your knees, is to bring the bottom leg forward. If you have a block, you can also sit on a block in this posture. That will also give you a little more space, especially when your hips are very tight. So you want to maintain the right posture in your back and lengthen up through your spine and not sink into the lower
This
back.
right side's so tight right now.
So find your pose. Right ankle on top of the left knee. Eventually your right knee right above your left ankle and flex your feet. Both shins parallel to the top line of the mat. You can have your hands behind you and tighten your fingertips and lift up through your chest. If your right hip is a little lifted, walk your hands over to the right and extend your arms forward, pressing the right hip down gently. And breathe here. Flex your feet. If your hips are open, you can walk your arms forward and go down to your forearms. And this is for those who have very open hips. Flex your feet and hook your toes around the upper arm. Feel resistance flexing into your upper arm and press your arms out into your feet. Find your starting point without judgment and just breathe through it there. slowly come up. We'll go into the other side. Bend your right leg. Make sure your right shin is parallel to the top line of the mat. And left leg over. Left ankle right above the right knee. And bring your hands behind you. Do the same variation you did on the other side. Lift up through the chest and feel the length up through the spine. If your left hip is lifted here, walk your hands over to the left, bringing your torso over your left thigh to gently press your left hip down so you don't overstretch your right piriformis and your right hip. If both hips are down evenly, walk your arms forward, flex your feet. If you feel resistance, breathe a little deeper. As we release old energy in these hip openers, we create space to bring in new energy. Keep flexing your feet to protect the knees. Slowly come up to your hands, come all the way up. Gomutasana. Bend your left leg so your left knee points straight forward and right leg on top of the left. Essentially right knee's right on top of the left knee. It's fine if your feet aren't right by your hips. Do the best you can. You can also sit on a block here too. You do not want to sink into your lower back. Bring the weight forward into your hands and then sit back down. That can help line up your right knee more on top of your left knee. Sit up tall, shoulders down. Lift your arms up and hold your right elbow with your left hand. Point your right fingertips down in between your shoulder blades. Keep lengthening up through your spine. If your shoulders are open, wrap your left arm under and go into a bind. Point your right elbow straight up so we're stretching the hips and stretching the shoulders, improving range of motion in the joints. Slowly release. Go right into the other side. Point your right knee straight forward. Left knee on top of the right. Again, you can bring your weight forward into your hands and sit back down right in between your feet. Eventually, the feet are right by the hips. Lift your left arm up and hold on to your left elbow with your right hand. Stretching the left shoulder. Keep lengthening up through your spine. Feel a little forward tilt of your pelvis. If your shoulders open, you can wrap your right arm under and go into a bind. Point your left elbow straight up. It's normal for one side to be tighter than the other. So just breathe through it. Eventually, they will even out as you give the same attention to each side. Maybe even a little more attention to the tighter side. Bring your legs out in front of you and shake it out, getting the blood flow back into your hips. Extend your right leg out 45 degrees. Bend your left foot to the inner right thigh, arms out to the side, and twist. Hook your left hand outside your right shin, calf. Bring your right hand to the ground by your right hip. Lift up through the chest and look over your right shoulder. Come back through center, arms up overhead. Interlace your fingers, face your right leg, and round forward. You can bend your right knee here, forehead to knee. Interlace the fingers right underneath your right foot by the ball of your foot and flex your right toes back. Suck your belly in and up. Lift up through your lower bandhas, your lower energy locks. Lift up through your pelvic floor. Come all the way up, left leg out. Bend your right foot to the inner left thigh. Arms out, turn and twist. Gaze over your left shoulder. Lift up through your chest. It's almost like you're doing a cobra pose here. Your chest is open as you twist. Come back up to center, arms up, face your left leg, and then from forehead to knee. Again, bend the left knee if you need to. Hold your foot, interlace the fingers right by the ball of your foot. Draw your right ribs down to square your shoulders off to the ground. Suck your belly in, forehead to knee. Come all the way up. Extend both legs out in front and bend your legs, arms up, and hinge from your hips and come forward. Hold your big toes with the peace finger grip. So hooking the big toes, you can keep your knees bent with your back straight. If you can extend your legs with the back straight, extend your legs forward. Flex your toes back. Lift up out of your lower back. And slowly bring your body forward, gazing forward. Try to work your hairline closer to your toes. Flex your pinky toes back, keep your ankles together, feel this in your hips. Your legs are straight, squeeze your thighs. Come all the way up. Modified lunge, step your right foot forward, left knee down on the ground behind you, and shift the weight forward and back. Feeling this nice stretch in the hips, and just notice how your hips are feeling here. You can pause if you'd like to pause anywhere. It's great if you would like just to stay here and enjoy the stretch, or you can go into the split. You can slowly start bringing your right foot forward and keep the weight on your hands. So stay lifted. Flex your right foot, point your right toes up towards the sky, and keep your left toes curled under so your left knee will stay on the ground to position your hips in the right alignment. Slowly go to your side and slowly exit. Other side, modified lunge, left foot in front, right knee on the ground, go forward and back. Breathe into your hips, stretching your hamstrings, your quads, your hip flexors. If you'd like to go into this split, flex your left foot and start sliding your left heel forward. In the split, bring your left hip back, right hip a little forward, stay up on your hands, feel your hands support you. Slowly go to your side and exit out. Straddle, separate your legs to either side. If your hips or your back are tight, sit on a block here, or you can even sit on a pillow. Again, you don't want to sink into your lower back. You can stay here for the duration of the pose and bring your hands to the ground behind you and lift up through your chest. If your hips are open, not on a block, start with your hands behind you, lift up through the chest and feel the forward tilt of your pelvis, pointing your tailbone back behind you. If this feels good, slowly walk your arms forward. And as you walk your arms forward, think of bringing your stomach to the ground before your chest. So you're not rounding forward. Flex your feet. Keep pointing your toes up towards the sky. Such a great stretch for your inner thighs. You do not want to feel any pain or strain. Come all the way back up. Downward facing dog. Lift your hips. Lift your right leg up high. One-legged pigeon. Right knee to the ground, right behind your right wrist, a little outside your right wrist. To modify this, you can place a block underneath your right hip. Make sure your hips and your pelvis are square to the ground. And what can help inform your alignment is making sure your left kneecap is on the ground. Walk your arms forward and bring your forehead down and close your eyes. Such a nice deep hip stretch here. You can make it restorative with your eyes closed and immerse in your breathing. Feel the healing energy come in with your inhale and settle into your body with your exhale. Back up to a downward facing dog. Lift your left leg and bring your left knee to the ground, a little outside the left wrist so the hips are square. You can use a block again if you like to under your left hip. Feel supported. And if it feels good, walk your arms forward. Close your eyes. Draw your left hip crease slightly back to take pressure off your left knee. Feel your breath take you on a journey here on your mat. You feel resistance, breathe deeper. Enjoy the sound of your breathing. Release anything that's serving you here. back up to a downward facing dog. Lower your knees down and turn around, lie on your back. Supta Vajrasana, also called Supta Baddha Konasana. Soles of the feet together, open your hips and your knees. If your hips are tight, or if you have any serious injuries here in your lower back, put a block underneath each thigh here to support yourself and control the range of motion. You can place one hand on your belly and one hand on your heart. These hip openers help balance the sacral chakra, an energy center represented by water. So as this energy center is balanced, you can be with the ebb and flow of life. Bring your knees in and extend. Right knee in, interlace the fingers right underneath your right knee and pull your right knee in towards your right shoulder. Elbows in, squeeze it in tight. Release. Left knee in, interlace the fingers right below your left knee, elbows in, tuck your chin in. Breathe slowly here, in and out through the nose. Balancing the Pingala Nadi on the right side and the Ida Nadi on the left. The sun and the moon. Release. Left leg down, both knees in. Wrap your arms around your legs and hold onto your elbows, your forearms or your wrists. Pull your knees in and relax your hips down. Flatten your back on the mat. Push your hips away. Extend your legs back down. Belly, spine twist, bend your legs, feet on the ground. Scoot your hips to the right and bring your knees into your chest and over to the left. Extend your right arm out, hook your left hand outside your right knee. Gaze past your right shoulder and relax into the ground. Feel the ground support you. Come back to center, feet on the ground, scoot your hips to the left. Bring your knees in and over to the right. Extend your left arm out, gaze over your left shoulder and relax. Release any extra effort here in your body to relax a little deeper. Releasing tension. As our body is made up of our mind and our mind is made up of our body. Come back through center. Extend your legs all the way down.
Sorry, kitty. That's kitty.
Center legs. Right ankle on the left knee. You can keep your left foot on the ground if your hips are tight, or thread your right hand through and hold right behind your left thigh. Interlace the fingers. Flex your feet. Gently pull your left leg in. And at the same time, push your right thigh away with your right elbow forearm. Push your hips away. Lower your legs down and extend your legs. Bend your legs, feet on the ground, left ankle on the right knee. You can stay here with your right foot on the ground or thread your left hand through, hold behind your right thigh. Flex your feet to protect the ligaments in your knees. As you pull, push away, tuck your chin and lengthen through the back of your neck with your head on the ground. Slowly lower and extend your legs all the way out. Final Shavasana, final relaxation. Separate your legs, feet at least hip width apart, arms to the side, palms up. With your chest open, you can close your eyes. And as you close your eyes, feel the energy that is awakened in the body, moving freely through your body. Our practice helps to awaken the nadis, the energy channels. We have thousands of energy channels in the body. And nadi means flow. So when the energy channels are awakened, the energy flows freely. So you can feel a deep connection to everything around you and to within. position.
Uh-oh. We gotta move. Okay, this way.
Slowly, carefully come up to a seat. You can sit cross-legged or you can kneel. Bring your palms together, thumbs to your heart center. Feel the lightness within. Reach the crown of your head up towards the sky. And take this peaceful energy with you. Namaste.